and you're not seeing a lot of points being put up in the passing game. Is that a concern or not?
No, and I'm going to tell you why.
The 5-0 Philadelphia Eagles and the 4-1 Dallas Cowboys. We had Brad Sham on with us earlier, and Brad's like this. He goes, I'm expecting to get egged when the bus rolls into Lincoln Financial. Let's bring in the legendary voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, our friend Merrill Reese. Merrill, so Brad Sham's expecting the Cowboy bus to be egged when he goes into Lincoln Financial on Sunday. Do you agree, yes or no, that that's possibly the possibility that we're going to see?
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, I think the Eagles fans are great fans. But first of all, the bus won't go through. The bus really won't go through the area of the fans. They will go right into another entrance.
Hey, Merrill, this game here, why does Cowboys and Eagle Week, why does it always come down to these two teams in the East?
Well, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you, Dan. This is a big game. It's an important game. It's a momentum game. But it's not what it's being built up to be. You know why? Because after this game, there are 11 games more. There are 11 games more on the schedule. Maybe the one on December 24th will have that kind of meaning. But this is a big game. They're all big games. It's Dallas and Eagles, and so there's a rivalry there. But it should not be overemphasized. Whoever wins doesn't necessarily win the title of the NFC East, and whoever loses is far from out of it.
Merrill, do you think this is the biggest game in Jalen Hurts' career so far, in his early career?
No. No, I don't. I think if there was a bigger game for him early in his career, it might have been the Minnesota game, because at that point he hadn't established himself with a lot of people, and maybe not even with those who make decisions, as the franchise quarterback. But after he won the opener against Detroit and then had that big Monday night win against Minnesota, I think that was even bigger as far as his career path is concerned. And then to see the way he brought them from behind and scored 29 straight points against Jacksonville, and this week the way he drove them down at the end, I think they're all important. But if you're asking me about the most important so far, I'd have to tell you the Monday night Minnesota game.
Merrill, would you agree, though? Those games, and I agree with you, Merrill. I think what he did that Monday night with the spotlight on him was so essential into keeping that momentum going. But he's going to be gauged, Merrill, on how well he plays against the Dallas Cowboys. Do you agree or disagree?
I think a quarterback is gauged every week. I think he's terrific, and I think he's going to continue to be good. But to think that he's going to have a great game every week, look, Aaron Rodgers is the best, but Aaron Rodgers did not have a great game in London.
Absolutely. Merrill, I'm going to throw something at you here, and I want to get your spin on it. Jalen Hurts has thrown for only 4 touchdown passes. And I know, listen, and I say this to everyone, the passing game has improved. AJ has been a massive factor. Dallas Goedert is an absolute weapon. But they're averaging 4.8 points a game in the passing game. And you're not seeing a lot of points being put up in the passing game. Is that a concern or not?
No, and I'm going to tell you why, because the passing game very often gets you inside the 5-yard line. And then Jalen Hurts has 6 touchdowns himself. He's got powerful legs, and they let him sneak for the last yard or two. But that shouldn't reflect what he's done in the passing game. Last week, he completed 70% of his passes.
Hey, Merrill, Dallas Goedert, I said this, and I've been saying this now. Boy, I'll tell you something. Zach Ertz, what an absolutely great football career he had in Philadelphia. But Merrill, Dallas Goedert is a weapon, and he is, if he's not the best tight end, I know Travis Kelce put on a show last night, but have you been surprised with how well Dallas has really matured and grown into being the starter and where his career is going? Because he's a special football player.
Well, I agree with you 100% he is. And Zach Ertz is a special football player, too. I mean, Zach Ertz could get open in the red zone. He was great. The difference is, I think that in being objective, you would have to say that Dallas Goedert does more with the ball after the catch.
Merrill, are you concerned with the injuries on the offensive line? I mean, Sayamalo, Kelsey, Dickerson, Malata, we still haven't heard yet on the status for them going into this game. I mean, look, they manned up and really played hard, and they ended up getting and eking that game out against the Cardinals. But is that a concern going into Sunday's game?
It's always a concern when there are injuries. But I know that last week Mailata wanted to play anyhow. So I have a feeling he'll be back. I have a feeling I'm about to do a radio show here in Philadelphia, and my guest is standing about 5 feet away, and that's Cam Jurgens, who went in and filled in for the Jason Kelsey, one of the greatest centers in Eagles history. But let me tell you, the Eagles have some backup people who have filled in very, very well. Driscoll came in and played well. Sua Opeta came in and played well. The thing about their offensive line, those 5 pieces, from Malata on the left to Lane Johnson on the right, are outstanding. But they have depth, Dan. They have great depth, and they have probably the best offensive line coach I have ever been around than Jeff Stoutland.
Merrill, have a great broadcast where you are, and I appreciate you always finding time. Thank you so much, my friend.
See you, Dan. Have a good night.